Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new and exclusive podcast, Tech Unfolded. This is a new series that we're launching at Samsung Gulf Electronics, and we have a very amazing guest to start the series. A busy man at a busy period, Mr. Fadi Abu Shamat, our VP
Thank
and
you
Head
so
of Mobile
much.
Experience.
Pleasure
How are
to
you,
be
Fadi?
here. Pleasure to be here, Tamer. Thank you so much for having me. And it's never busy for you or the fans. So it's a great day, special day. So let's fire away.
It's an amazing day, to be honest, because we just teased our upcoming Galaxy Unpacked.
Absolutely.
We announced that it's going to be the easiest AI phone.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you straight off the bat.
Please.
Are we doing too much AI?
You can never have enough AI. That's a bold statement. You can never have enough AI. And I think that if anything, people are asking more and more AI. Like we're gonna discuss hopefully more on what kind of AI the consumers are asking for. So, but on the principally, I see consumers more and more eager every day to welcome AI into their lives. So, and again, just to start with, I think this is such an exceptional day because it's always the rush of the beginnings, and I say this mindful that the S series is the juggernaut of the industry. It's a well-known staple of and a loved flagship phone. But there's a rush that I personally love every time we announce, even tease a new S series that's coming to the world. So I couldn't be happier by being here today with you.
Honestly, that rings true because I'm asking you this of the latest op-ed by Dr. Tamer Orabi, our president and CEO at Samsung Electronics, where he said, and I'm quoting, successful AI should be part of everyday life.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me, what does that mean?
So I think it was such a great interview, and it just highlighted an amazing psychological law. It's called the Amara's law, and it's just put it in a simple terms. It's just that people tend to overestimate the importance of technology on the short term and underestimate it on the long term. And it was a great point and observation by our CEO. The reason I say this is that it's exactly where we started. You see, the data says that people love AI. People want more AI. It's just that they're expecting it to be presented in a different way. And I believe that it's our responsibility as one of the leading tech companies in the world to really start reshaping or representing how AI should be interacted with on day-to-day basis. And the best approach, and that's hopefully what we're going to demonstrate in our upcoming S-Series flagship, is that AI should move to a more transparent, more of a, how do I say it, boring level, and boring in the positive term, because AI should be really woven into our daily life. Let me ask you something, Tamer. Like when we came in here today, like we just pressed that electricity button and lights went up. Have you ever given it any second thought? Right? I mean,
No.
you do this like subconsciously, you do this naturally.
Exactly.
This is the level that we believe in Samsung that AI should be positioned. It should be part of our day-to-day effortless. AI should complement my life, should really aid me and assist me, should understand me. And hence, to transition from what we have today, which is more on the gimmicky parlor trick, like look at what this AI can do, right? That kind of situation, to a really meaningful day-to-day companion without even seeing that companion. So that is the ultimate image or the vision that we envision AI to be positioned at, and we're more than excited for this upcoming S series flagship to unfold.
It is very exciting. So what you're telling me is I should expect AI to work in the background without me interfering, or that's at least the end game.
Without actually you feeling that there's a
That I need to
certain
interfere.
impose or a certain a user journey that I have to manually invoke. The best technology works always seamless in the background without actually expecting you to go out of your way to take a certain measure or to take a certain step. That is the perfect or the ultimate level of seamless technology integration. And in this point, we're talking about AI itself.
And is that where we're seeing that trajectory, let's say from AI as a novel concept that we introduced back in not so long ago.
Not long ago, yeah, not long ago.
Chatbot, let's say, and then agentic AI. Is that the trajectory that we're seeing?
You're spot on. And again, the starts are always exciting, as I mentioned, but when you look back after a certain period of time, you start to really understand the transition or the upgrade of technology. So I'm really excited that you touched on that. So we introduced the first AI capability in a smartphone back in 2024 when we launched the S24 series. And that was a staggering success. We've had more than 200 million people who embraced that technology that year. The year after, literally the year after, not the decade after, we doubled down. So we reached to 400 million consumers of our favorite loyal fans who engage with our Galaxy AI. We're aiming to double that again this year. So that kind of tells you on the monumental steps. But to go back to where we started, so yes, in S24 times, it was an app-based. It was a functionality-based. So we touted and we were very proud of our Circle to Search. We were proud of our Live Translate. And those were all amazing technologies, but they were like single use cases. The way that we envision, you know what the word envision really implies long future, the way that we're going to see together.
But it's really not.
Very soon. That AI transition into a more agentic AI. And if you allow me, just I won't promise, I won't complicate things. I'll try to keep it as fun and as interesting. But the agentic AI era will be an era where AI finally understands your consumer needs or your own personal needs. It understands what you like, what you don't like. It understands how you manage work, how you go about your daily life. And that AI will not be like anything. It will be different than my AI, than his or hers. And this is the kind of future that we really envision, that AI should adapt and mold itself to satisfy and to make your life easier. So that is the beauty of agentic AI. And if we just touch base on a bit longer future, it's a bit different future. It's a future where we change how we interact with the smartphone itself. So we're moving from an era of smartphone into an era of an AI phone, where we stop using icons. We don't look and we don't open our phones and start looking for which icon, which app icon do I want to use. An era where I don't go to an app store anymore, because AI itself is woven into my phone and it understands what I want to achieve. I'll give you an example. So AI should understand by default that I have a meeting set at 4 p.m. today. And I don't have to go to my calendar, and because I already spoke about it and I was already discussing with Tamer that let's meet today at 4 p.m. So that marker or placeholder was already done in the background. And then AI itself will remind me 30 minutes based on my current location and the meeting's location, because it understood that from the context. And it will tell me that should I hail a ride for you? Should I order a taxi for you? Now at that point, I neither recorded a meeting placeholder, I neither set a reminder for the meeting, and I neither have to specify which hail ride service, which taxi service do I need to order. AI is doing all of that work, all of that grunt work on my behalf in the background. That is just a simple one use case of what agentic AI is going to bring to our consumer's life.
That's an excellent example because it's so topical and from daily life.
Yeah.
But one can't help but notice. So we've created, let's say, the smartphone. We've moved to AI phones, and now we're creating agentic AI phones. We've all watched The Matrix. We've all seen that eventually it's the agents. It's Mr. Smith. Are we creating Mr. Smith?
So I have an announcement to make today.
We're announcing Mr. Smith?
AI will make humanity obsolete. No, absolutely not. And I think that's the job of Hollywood and entertainment technology, is to exaggerate and move things into and blow it out of proportion. I think in general, the narrative of humanity is surprisingly tends to underestimate the resilience and the ingenuity and the creativity of human beings. And AI will only be an enablement and an empowerment tool. Let's just picture a day of an employee in his or her job. We spend at least between 50 to 60% doing routine daily tasks. which are not mundane or like useless, but they are like part of everyone's job. That includes checking the emails, summarizing them, replying to them, creating reports, probably pretty much in our case forecasting for like sales figures. That's a huge part of what myself and my division does on day-to-day basis. And it is super meaningful, super important. A lot of other functions depends, like warehouses, supply chain. So that depends on that kind of data crunching. But is it the best use case of a human brain, of a human creativity? Absolutely
Or
not.
human time.
Absolutely. Because we all have so much limited resources, including time and physical ability and energy, right? So this is where AI really plugs in. This is where AI comes in to offload part of that important but yet routinish kind of task that we are all expected to do. So imagine the amount of unleashed creativity that this kind of agentic AI will allow me, you, everyone else to really dedicate that gain time, that gained resource to really think of creativity, think of strategy, think of what's next to come. So this is just one small example of how AI really can unleash the potential. If we talk about, let's forget work. Let's talk about work-life balance. Like we all, strive to make a more meaningful work-life balance in all of our lives. I mean, this is what AI can promise. So it's not about replacing humanity. AI will really finally allow us to really have that extra 1 hour or 2 hours every day that we really dream of, to just go back home and enjoy, life with our loved ones, with our partners, with our kids. So this is the kind of a better future. So for everyone out there who's like,
Afraid of
really
Agent
into,
Smith.
Agent
Agent
Smith.
Smith, friend of the show.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you as well about what does that mean for privacy. So I've been reading online about the privacy paradox, the on-device sovereignty, in Samsung terminology and in Samsung technology, and what does that mean for privacy that we all... That's why it was interesting to see what everyone is saying about the privacy paradox, that, okay, we put so much stress and focus on privacy, yet we're kind of lenient of what we put online. Can you tell me more about how do we view this as a company?
Absolutely. So listen, let me just take one step back here, and that's a personal conviction, and it's a well-known factor. I think privacy was the biggest challenge, I dare to say, in the evolution of AI. Definitely there was the technology aspect, there was the R&D, the engineering, that's definitely was there. But how to solve the privacy was by far the biggest challenge, not only for Samsung, but for all other industry leaders that are out there. And I believe, again, I might be biased here because, we're Samsung. So, but I genuinely believe as a personal consumer level, that the approach that Samsung has taken is by far the most privacy centric from a end user point of view that there has ever been. And just I'll explain why am I overly excited and overly confident about it. So up until now, AI has always lived on the cloud. And in order to keep building these bigger LLMs, to be able to cater for the huge demand that consumers are growing more and more on day-to-day basis expecting. So the cloud has always been the perfect location, which was good and is good until now. The only concern is that how do I guarantee my own private data and the stuff that means so much and dear to me, that I cannot trust it on the cloud. Not that the cloud is a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but it's just that, especially with privacy, it really starts to bridge to the intimacy. And whenever it's intimacy, I like it here, I like it now, I like it in my safe box where I can lock it and keep it next to me, right? So the approach that Samsung has taken is absolutely on-device processing for your personal data. And let me explain this so that we're not really misunderstood. There's two parts to AI and LLM data crunching. There's the learning model, the LLM itself, that cannot be on device. It's a huge LLM model, so that needs to stay on the cloud. But my personal data, my private information, that is what we're keeping on device. My family photos, my bank details, my private conversation that I don't want to share on the cloud, that is all under your command as an end consumer. So not only that, you get to have choice, which is something that was never there up until now in the industry. We are giving our consumers the choice. What kind of data do you want to upload on the cloud? What other kind do you want to keep on device? So choice is always goes hand in hand with privacy. So at the minute that I have a choice, then I choose to upload my data on the cloud. I do that willingly. I do that happily ever after, right? I don't complain about it after. But it's just that kind of taking the choice from people or from consumer really is not the right approach. So we're doing it on device, and we're doing it with the consent and the choice of our consumer. Should they choose to keep it on device, it stays there. And not only that, thanks to our Knox technology, so all your private data will be stored on device encrypted. So, I mean, we're talking about zero hack possibilities. We're talking about no leaks, no data to be uploaded on the background without you knowing to a certain cloud solution. So that kind of security and privacy is at the heart of Samsung's Galaxy AI approach.
So I have the choice
Yeah.
to have my data either on device or on cloud,
Absolutely.
or whatever ratio I would like between the two.
100%.
That will give me the peace of mind or the ease of mind that I know that my data is secured,
Absolutely.
and where it does not travel more than needed. Right? Is that
100%.
what you're saying?
Absolutely. Like listen, let's look at the now. So I mean, we all know that the smarter the ads become are the one that are catered and tailored to my needs. So I mean, I'm not in a car buying mood, right? So I don't want to see car ads, right? But if I am, I'd appreciate them, right? Because they serve a certain purpose.
Yeah.
And as long as I had consented that yes, I want to share that I am in a car buying mode, right? So yeah, absolutely welcome.
And give me those recommendations.
Exactly. So this, I mean, on a much bigger scale, is literally our approach on device and by choice. So if you as a consumer, for you really prefer privacy, and privacy is ultimately tops advanced technology or tops the state of the art AI features, and I'm happy with my current on-device AI features, you get that choice. You get to do that. That choice was never available in technology. But if you're saying, you know what, I don't mind sharing half of that as long as it's not intimate, it's still private, but I mean, I'm okay by sharing my photos, for example, my family photos, let's say. I have nothing to hide on that. So I'm fine by sharing as long as all of a sudden I get these amazing AI photo editing features, I get this amazing AI stickers and so many other features. Why not?
Exactly. As long as there is benefit
Absolutely.
from me
And
sharing
there's a
with the
choice.
cloud.
Absolutely.
Talking about things that weren't available before, we teased an amazing privacy feature
Yeah.
that's going to be a game changer. We've all seen the leaks. We've all seen what we officially announced from Samsung. What can you tell us about the new privacy?
So what I can tell you here and now is that it is something that you have never, ever, count my words, ever seen before. And it is a revolutionary technology. It's something that the industry has never seen before. We're genuinely proud that it's 100% homegrown by our amazing R&D and engineers in Samsung. And it's going to be a game changer. It's going to change how smartphones and privacy really interact together from a visual point of view. Again, goes back to choice. You're going to have so much choice on what to make private, what not to make private. So it's I can't wait. I can't wait to, because I think the best moment, at least in my career, is when you see the effect of a new technology in the eyes of our amazing fans, or when you read comments and, so I really genuinely can't wait to see the reaction of our amazing fans.
Me too. I've seen it so many times before, and I've seen how Samsung is creating the technology, and then it is the norm after.
Yeah.
Take foldables, for example. We created sort of the segment,
Yeah.
and then it became mainstream. We nurtured it. We're still the pioneers in it, and I can't wait that if that privacy feature is what it is, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a segment that we introduce to the industry, just like we've done in many products / features before.
100%. Like, again, like, in 2019 when we introduced the first Fold, I mean, the amount of skepticism, the pushback, the naysayers that, was like, yeah, this is never going to
Who
fly.
needs a foldable phone?
Yeah, it's never going to fly. Who needs that, right? But again, the smart technology, in so many times, is something that I never knew that I needed until I saw it. I think that is by far the smartest of technologies. And foldable is definitely, that example, that perfect example of our consumers really, on a certain level, they knew that they wanted a new form factor, right? But they just never knew that this kind of technology is there. So we introduced it in 2019. It was such an amazing journey, seeing the evolution of the foldable year over year. And this would be the 8th year of hopefully in our second half, our new foldable devices. And it's going to be an unbelievable year. What I can tell you right now, because it's a bit too early, but it's not going to be like any other year. It's going to be an exceptional, amazing year. And there's so much to look forward to. Absolutely.
Honestly, yes, because judging by the success of the Trifold and the Z Fold 7, can't wait to see what we have in store for the consumers.
I'm really happy that you mentioned that Trifold, because we've been really blessed in UAE to be chosen to be one of 5 countries. I think now we're introducing it in USA as well, so that makes it a 6th country. But we were among that early a batch of countries to introduce, and even at that time, you should have just heard. That was more on now. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
That who's gonna buy this? Who's gonna use this? Less than an hour, and we were sold out. This is the amount of love and fast adoption for
and
Samsung.
the trust that
Unbelievable
in the technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, with our upcoming Agentic AI, with our upcoming focus on privacy on a software and hardware level, I can't imagine what I'm fingers crossed, the super positive, massive positive reception from our fans that's gonna come.
I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
I want to shift gears and talk about camera.
Sure.
What should we expect from the next S series?
So again, can I boast here? Can I show off a little bit? Is that okay?
You're entitled to show
Come on,
off.
thank you. So I think the S series has set the standard, and no matter how much we look at it, which angle, S series has always set the bar for whichever year that we launch, and then everyone else keeps trying to top that bar, and that is something that we're very proud of, and it is a responsibility because every year we have to outdo ourselves, outdo the competition, and most importantly, meet our fans' expectation. That is the toughest one, because our loyal fans are just setting the expectation that high. So the S series for this year, I can assure you, it's not going to be an exception. It's going to continue building on that legacy. We're going to see innovation when it comes to the camera sizes, the time of day where you take the pictures, day or night. We're going to see new innovation when it comes to the zoom functionality. So it's going to be super, super, super exciting. And this year, exceptionally, it's going to be very special. We're going to introduce the phone during the holy month of Ramadan. And surprisingly, Ramadan is an amazing holy month that life really thrives at night. So wink, wink, no pun intended or intended.
That's a really good tease of the feature.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Fadi, for the lovely conversation. You need to promise me that this will not be the only one. We're going to have more. And please, if you have more topics, anything you want us to zoom in particular, please give us a shout, drop it in the comment box. Thank you so much, Fadi.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Tamer.